Hey guys, I'm back and I wanted to let you all know that I've thought about something and very important that I should mention to you all. And let's just say, yes, I've already mentioned this before in another video, but the pandemic has made it possible for a lot of spiritual people who are having a difficult time at work to quit their job because of the benefits that are being given out from the government. And also, I know that some people are, in the process of saving and not wanting to leave their job because, they haven't planned it, and that's okay. I do want to say, if you do feel like you need to keep your job, do keep it, but I would definitely plan of how much you are going to need whenever you're on a survival mode. Like, you're already on a survival mode, but you're going to be on a even more survival mode whenever you don't have a place to go to. I don't recommend shelters for spiritual people. I don't recommend sleeping outside in a tent for spiritual people. But I have made those decisions on my own, and unfortunately, I still did not, linger with many people because I decided to be around someone who was outside the shelter, to have a conversation with. Sometimes it's hard to avoid, not talking to anyone in the shelter, and sometimes it's hard to avoid doing that also on the outside. But you find more freedom if you're very spiritual to and anybody. Um, in order for you to have some peace for yourself, it's very important that you find comfort within yourself whenever you're out there trying to establish yourself, because the strategies and the plans that you're going to have to take so that you can get yourself together, because someone else has the same ideas but they have a different strategy. And I would definitely consider being in many alone spaces, because that's just the way it's going to have to be, because you can focus more better. And I want you to be able to manage your money that you are receiving from the government. And they give you a certain amount, probably a week or every 2 weeks, or however your state issues out your unemployment. I'm going to have, say, people with stimulus checks. Like, if you're getting that, I would definitely, do what you have to do to save it. Because when you're out there, you're gonna have to find places to eat to keep yourself nourished. And I definitely would have to say, please go forth of eating foods that aren't going to make you feel sick. And I've already explained that to you all. Some foods that people eat, they don't know that it is causing them to be sick, and that is the overeating on junk food or meats. Those are going to cause people to not feel so well. So if you eat something like a salad, or see how far some apples would go. People, can get full off one apple, and may not even feel like eating anything else, because that's just something that an apple would do to you. I may be a little bit different, but of course I'm a little bit different. But people feel that way. Once they eat an apple or a fruit, they don't really crave for real, the normal food of meat anymore, because something is satisfying within their stomachs. Their bodies is already satisfied. It's just as if someone was to eat a burger and they feel like they can eat another burger, or a slice of pizza, or some fries. But if you eat an apple, you don't even feel like eating a burger, or you don't even feel like eating anything else, because something that's inside of the apple is causing your body to focus on not being hungry because of the natural ingredients that is inside of the fruit. So that's something that's a plus and a good health benefit added to an apple. It's already healthy because it's a natural vegetable or fruit. And that is what I wanted to say. So therefore, you're gonna have to look at, if you do decide to sleep in a tent somewhere, which I hope you don't, but if you do, please find somewhere that, you know, is away from the public eye a little bit. Um, it's getting really cold inside of a tent, and I would definitely say, get a really thick blanket. Now you don't have to walk around everywhere. Set this tent up somewhere in a place where no one's gonna bother it, like deep into the woods or something. Put your deep comforters in there, and I would definitely try to avoid places where it's open for rain to come. Even though some tents don't are waterproof, I will look for it to get in some tents that you would decide to put underneath of maybe a shed or something like that. So because when it rains, sometimes the water can find a way to get inside of the tent, and you don't want that. It's already cold outside. You can also purchase a lantern, but I would definitely say that once you cover up with like a very thick quilt or something like that, you'll be able to be super warm inside. And the reason why I said that, the pandemic has caused some spiritual people to leave work, it's because, spiritual people knew that they had to go to work, but they also knew that they needed money to, pay rent, and they needed their money to, to eat and things like that. This is the perfect time to get on food stamps. It is. It really is. Until you go online and find a way to easily start your own business, you can do that also. And that is definitely another sign. Let's see. I would consider, finding places to live like hostels, but I wouldn't want to consider a hostel because you have to share a room with someone. I am inside of a pod. I did pay my rent. I did go find a house back in North Carolina, an apartment, and I paid my rent for up to a month, and I got the government to pay for, an additional month added to that, and I'm still in the process and getting it, furnished and everything like that. But my God, I really feel like moving to New York. Visiting New York, I feel like it's a place that I'd rather be. I like New York a whole lot better than North Carolina. Some people would say no, I like somewhere else better than North Carolina. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. It doesn't matter where you are, just as long as you have that good spirit within you, and you're able to, understand the gospel, then you should be okay. So that is pretty much it. Just to say that, the pandemic has caused so many people to, feel a lot more available, for receiving help by having the government understand each individual's circumstance. And because before the pandemic, a spiritual person needing money to come every week because they didn't make enough on unemployment, and it wasn't time for them to file unemployment yet, but they have worked so much, and yes, because of the pandemic, you look at those numbers and how much hours they put in. Yes, they have worked a lot, and yes, it would be fair for them to receive benefits. And because they extended it for 99 weeks, this is the perfect time for people to utilize what God has given them, because it should have been utilized from the very beginning. So I'm just so glad and humbled and thankful that people were able to understand what was happening to me and other people who had stressed and struggled trying to, maintain a prosperous lifestyle, no matter what a type of help that they had before, or what they didn't have, you know, because some people are really truly trying their best to focus on establishing themselves, and they just need a push or a little help. And you know, I thought about, you know, taking my entire benefits to New York City and just, you know, living here. And then I thought about it. I was like, wow. I said, this is pretty cool. But then I thought about, you know, a foundation, and about, you know, how better I would feel to have lesser rent and then have my full month paid, and then I was still able to go out and travel some, because I never really had a chance to go out there and travel. You know, I really haven't. So this is the first time. Like, I'm 28 years old. I'm just now getting to New York City. Like, that's a big plus for me. Like, just imagine me anywhere else in the parts of the world. Like, just imagine, you know. So, you know, while I'm still doing other things to grow my business, I still have to do some things that is going to have me do some computer work in order to make that possible. So, yeah, that's what I have to say. So, I thank you so much for watching, and don't feel, you know, fearful of using this time to really do something that's going to make you happy, that you've never always done. Um, because everyone wants a place to live, and everyone wants to have a place to call home, and then people also want a place to go out there and explore something that's going to make them feel very good inside. So that's my message for today, and I thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned, because of course I'm going to have another video to be posted. Bye guys.